Tucked between the two giants of South America, Brazil and Argentina, lies a small, gentle, and remarkably civilized country that punches astonishingly far above its weight, Uruguay. Home to only around 3.4 million people, it is one of the most stable, prosperous, and progressive nations in all of Latin America, so much so that it is often called the Switzerland of South America. And in football, this tiny land is a giant, the nation that won the very first World Cup ever played. This is Uruguay seen from above. Welcome to Aerial Atlas. Uruguay covers around 176,000 square kilometers, and it is one of the flattest countries you will ever see. There are almost no mountains here, just endless gently rolling green grasslands, the southern pampas, perfect for grazing cattle. Its western border with Argentina is drawn by the Uruguay River, which flows into the vast estuary of the Rio de la Plata, and along its southeastern edge stretches a beautiful coastline of golden beaches, where the river finally meets the Atlantic Ocean. The capital is Montevideo, a relaxed and elegant city that is home to nearly half of the entire country's population. Strung out along the shore of the Rio de la Plata, its defining feature is the Rambla, a long, sweeping waterfront promenade where Montevideans stroll, fish, and sip their tea as the sun goes down. With its faded old town, its grand port, and its calm European atmosphere, Montevideo feels like one of the most easygoing capitals in the Americas. But to understand Uruguay, you must understand its football, which here is something close to a religion. In 1930, Uruguay hosted and won the very first FIFA World Cup, lifting the trophy in the brand new Estadio Centenario in Montevideo. Then, in 1950, they did the impossible, beating hosts Brazil in their own giant Maracanã stadium, a result so shocking it is still remembered simply as the Maracanazo. For a nation this small to be twice champion of the world is one of sport's greatest miracles. This is above all cattle country, and there are far more cows in Uruguay than there are people. Beef is the heart of the culture, and the great national ritual is the asado, a slow, sociable barbecue where enormous quantities of meat are grilled over wood embers. Uruguayans are among the biggest beef eaters on the entire planet. Out on the rolling plains, the traditional gaucho, the South American cowboy, still works the vast cattle ranches known as estancias. And in almost every Uruguayan hand, you will spot another national obsession: mate. This is a bitter, energizing herbal tea, sipped through a metal straw from a hollow gourd and carried absolutely everywhere, tucked under one arm alongside a thermos of hot water. More than a drink, mate is a social ritual of friendship, shared, refilled, and passed from person to person, a quiet symbol of Uruguayan togetherness. Uruguay has earned its nickname as the Switzerland of South America. It is one of the continent's oldest and most solid democracies, with a strong secular tradition, very low corruption, and free public education that has produced a highly literate society. It has also been strikingly progressive, becoming one of the first countries in the world to fully legalize cannabis and an early adopter of same-sex marriage. Its former president, José Mujica, won global fame as the humble leader who gave away most of his salary. Along the Atlantic coast lies Uruguay's glamorous side, Punta del Este. Often called the Monaco of South America, this is a dazzling resort of marinas, beaches, and high-rise towers, where the wealthy of the continent come to play each summer. On its beach rises one of South America's most photographed sculptures, La Mano, a giant hand reaching up out of the sand. Further along the coast lie wilder treasures, like the off-grid, candle-lit village of Cabo Polonio. Uruguay's history is written in its charming colonial towns. The jewel is Colonia del Sacramento, a beautiful UNESCO World Heritage old town of cobbled streets and Portuguese architecture, founded as the two empires of Spain and Portugal fought over this borderland. Born as a buffer state between Brazil and Argentina, and shaped by waves of Spanish and Italian immigrants, Uruguay grew into a nation with a distinctly European character all its own. The country also has a vibrant cultural soul. It shares the passionate dance of tango with neighboring Argentina, and it is the home of candombe, the thunderous Afro-Uruguayan drumming, brought by enslaved Africans, that now fills the streets. Every year, Montevideo hosts what it proudly claims to be the longest carnival in the world, a riotous celebration of music, drumming, and the satirical street theater known as murga, that runs for some 40 days. For all its traditions, modern Uruguay is forward-looking and green. It produces excellent wine from its signature Tannat grape, has a growing technology and software industry, and is a world leader in clean energy, generating almost all of its electricity from renewable sources like wind and water. With one of the largest middle classes and highest qualities of life on the continent, it offers its people a stability and calm that is the envy of its giant neighbors. And so we return, as we must, to football. The national team, La Celeste, the Sky Blue, play with a famous never-say-die spirit the Uruguayans call Garachatua. From the legends of the past to modern heroes like Luis Suarez and Edinson Cavani, this tiny nation produces world-class players in astonishing numbers. Now, with a brilliant new generation led by Federico Valverde and Darwin Núñez, La Celeste march into 2026 dreaming, once again, of glory. A small, green, gentle nation of cattle and mate, of beaches and beautiful old towns, twice champion of the world and forever football mad. That was Uruguay from above. If you enjoyed the journey, subscribe. Here on Aerial Atlas, we fly over a new country every day.